Hey everybody, it's John, and we're back with another What's Blank Wednesday. We've got Heather, one of our kind of developing camp room salespeople downstairs, right?
Yes.
For the summer, and we're gonna do a What's Camp Stoves Wednesday, because we have an amazing assortment down there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got stuff for ultralight, we've got stuff for car camping, and everything in between.
Yeah. So traditionally, you guys have known us for the backpacking and ultralight stuff, and there's probably, if you're into that stuff, scene, some things that you might recognize up here. Heather, what's that most popular unit we sell over there?
The most popular is going to be the Pocket Rocket. We've got the 2 and the Deluxe. The Deluxe being a little bit bigger. But that's going to be super lightweight, super versatile, and it's popular for a reason, so.
Yeah, it's very small, packable, and pretty affordable.
Yeah.
So you can go out and, these types of stoves are really for boiling water to dump in a camp food bag and rehydrate some dehydrated food, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not doing a lot of sauteing of onions and peppers on that.
No, it does burn through your fuel pretty quickly, but you can do a lot even if you're just working with water. Your coffee, your tea, your backpacking meals, and if you're in a pinch, you can definitely use it to simmer something.
So those run off of canisters, right? So that's a blend of isobutane and propane. And universal thread, so if you guys are shopping canisters, they're all threaded the same now, so one stove will work on multiple brands of fuel, which is kind of nice. But there's always a question of how much time am I going to get out of that and how full is my canister?
Right.
Which there's really not a great answer for that.
Exactly. You can adjust your simmer on this one, so that can help you conserve a little bit here and there, but you're still not really going to be sure at the end of the day how much you got left.
So we've got a new accessory that you guys might be interested in, and this is a fuel transfer accessory that you can take fuel from one canister and put it into another canister.
Yeah.
So as long as you've got 2 half-used canisters, this is kind of cool, and you'll never be throwing a partially filled canister away. You're gonna be sure you're throwing an empty canister away. And those can be punctured and recycled too.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, in the world of canister stoves, there's sort of the Ultra Deluxe, right? That's the wind burner.
Yeah, so this one, it's a flameless burner and it's protected from the elements. So if you're looking for something slightly more efficient in terms of, fuel and time saved, that will ultimately,
Yeah, I mean, camping in the spring this time of year, it's always windy. And so the flames get blown around, you lose a lot of heat, so efficiency is a big deal. So JetBoil is another industry brand that does that type of stove as well. We've got both styles. Comes with its own pot.
Yeah, and that can be used for water and if you need to boil your food on the burner.
Yep, so big fan of those. I don't think we saw enough of those. I don't think people understand them as well. So
they're also a little bit more stable than your Pocket Rocket since they're sitting on a tripod instead of the canister itself.
Cool. Yeah, stability is a big deal. We'll see some of that over here on the other side of the thing. So we got a couple of unusual stoves in the middle. One is a classic, and this is the Esbit cube burning stove. It's nothing more than a little dish made out of titanium.
Weighs nothing.
Nothing. And it burns these white little cubes. So if you're out there using a soup can filled with rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, you might consider this. It's a little cleaner, a little easier to transport fuel. Very inexpensive. You get a lot of fuel for $11 and this thing's $24 or something to start with. So, but it's amazing how little that weighs. So for the ultralight fans out there, check that out.
And it does fold up even smaller, so keep that in mind.
And on the other end of the unusual stoves, we've got the BioLite cooking stove here. This doesn't look like anything else on the table, Heather.
Yeah, so that one is a wood-burning stove instead of a fuel-burning stove.
You can basically pick up sticks, leaves, pine cones, whatever.
Toothpicks.
Stick it inside here, and it's operated with a battery. You can hear the fan, so that's going to keep your fuel burning efficiently.
Yeah, even if you've got something mostly covering the top, that will also ventilate your fire so it doesn't go out.
So you're going to get pretty good heat, pretty good control. You got to have a source of fuel, so you're going to pick that up along the way so you don't have to bring your fuel. And it's got one other kind of really cool feature on this,
Yeah, it acts as its own battery pack. The battery on the front will generate power based on how much heat you're producing, and you can use it to charge your phone, your headlamps, other small battery items.
So a lot going on here. BioLite developed this for sort of third world country solutions for safety, pollution, and to give some electricity. But it's become a backcountry stove for some people here in the States.
Yeah, it's not the lightest one on the table because of the battery on the front, but in terms of not having to bring your own fuel, it can actually save you some space and weight overall.
There's some cool accessories. There's actually a grill you can add to this and the rest of that. Yeah, so way to go, BioLite. All right, let's talk about probably the longest running, most classic stove on the table, the WhisperLite from MSR. So we're flipping into fuel sources now, right? What are we doing over here?
Yeah, so that one's going to be liquid fuel. That is going to be available at any camp store. One of the most readily available fuel sources that you're going to find in camping. Can be used with both backpacking and car camping. So the readily available fuel is going to be a huge pro for this one.
And it's a little less expensive fuel, so value-wise, and the stoves are basically indestructible, 100% field maintainable, really stable bases. There's a windscreen accessory that makes this, kind of nice to work with there. Scouts and group camps tend to stay away from white gas, but private or backpacking, this is a way to go. Those canisters are available in good backpacking stores. Mm-hmm. White gas, liquid, you can buy at Meijer, at convenience stores, gas stations, and whatnot. We sell super fuel from MSR.
Yeah, so a little more efficient, a little cleaner. So if you ever need to clean your lines, if you're ever trying to really get the most out of your fuel.
It's good to run this through every couple of years, get a container of this, but it's quite a bit more. You can buy a whole gallon of fuel for what you pay for that. So, and there's a number of different stoves that are out there, but the WhisperLite, I imagine a few of you guys may have one of those at home.
And one thing to mention is, unlike these where you're never quite sure how much is left in those, you can always check the inside of your canister with the liquid fuel and see how much you have left.
So COVID hit, and people not only were backpacking, but they really got into just going camping, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. I went more, even though I already like to do that, so.
And we shifted gears, and we started carrying stuff that we traditionally wouldn't have had on the floor at Bill and Paul's. So
yeah, prior we were almost entirely backpacking.
Yeah, so we are now into the campground stoves, the overlanding stoves, the vehicle assist camping, however you want to say it, but we've got some really neat things out there. This is a little stove from Primus. It's a single burner propane base, so the green propane fuel tanks, which we do not sell, but you can pick those up.
They look like this?
No, they don't look like that.
They don't?
No. They're those green.
Oh, that's right.
Like you can do all kinds of, I don't know, I see them at all the basically box stores, but that's what this takes. They're small tanks of propane. We've got 1 burner, 2 burner, they fold up, they're durable, they're easy to transport, but you can throw a full-size frying pan on that and have a stable on your picnic table, saute, noodles, boil, big pots, that kind of thing. So it's a nice way to cook in a campground setting or off the back of your truck.
We also have larger stoves that are going to be not quite a full range, but at least a larger one where we have crazy accessories like pizza ovens and griddles and all sorts of stuff you can throw.
So you're talking about that big sucker in front, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 2-burner CampChef deck or patio or portable grill. So CampChef is a big brand out there in grills and 2-burner stoves. And we have a pretty cool selection from them as well. So this is great. Fun to go through this right before the season gets started. If you guys are in need of a stove, we do fixed stoves. So if you've got one that's not maybe running that well, you can bring it into the gang. But stop in, check out all the selections of ways to cook on the trail.
Yeah.
Thanks, Heather.
Oh, no problem.
And we'll see you guys back for another What's Blank Wednesday?
What's Blank Wednesday?
Next week. Yay.